I love working with the rookie owners. You know, people that have gone through the gauntlet of the field for months, the grind for months, and in some cases years. And then you get the chance to run your first business. I mean, I understand how nerve-wracking it can be. It's a vulnerable little business when you first get started, but obviously the goal is to, drive that business into a thriving, profitable business. Or you could run the business into the ground, but at least you're in control. You have the choice. You're the entrepreneur. You're the owner. So again, I love working with the rookie owners. And Gabe Lozano is a rookie owner in Dallas, Texas. Now, little known fact about Gabe is he's got the same birthday as Kobe Bryant, August 23rd. I know that because it's the day before Kobe Bryant Day, 8/24, August 24th is Kobe Bryant Day here in Los Angeles. And Gabe, just a fun fact about me, I have the same birthday as Shaquille O'Neal. So maybe you and I are the Kobe Shaq combo here or something like that. I don't know. But I love the question that you ask here, Gabe. How can I better help my team get to the next level and keep them inspired with what they've achieved and with the direction that we're going? And so, again, I love the question, and the key word that just popped out at me was inspired. And I think you're spot on when you're like, how can I help keep them inspired? It's never the owner's job to motivate the crew. It's not a leader's responsibility to motivate. I mean, our people are responsible for their own motivation, yes. But we as leaders are really called to help inspire them, right? I think people need a little bit of an assist in like just going from the foggy, like what are my goals? What am I doing here? And really help get some clarity on exactly why are you here? What's the motivation? What is your purpose? What's your inspiration? And then let them go from there, okay? So when I thought of, inspiration, there are really two things that came to mind. And the first one was Simon Sinek, okay? You could Google Simon Sinek. He's done some great TED Talks. He's written a great book, Start With Why, okay? Love this book. And he references the golden circle. If you get a chance to maybe YouTube the golden circle, you'll find some great stuff here. But here's basically in summary what he says about the golden circle. He says every organization, every person in every organization knows clearly what the what is. We all know the job description. We all know what we're hired to do. Here is the what of the organization. Every individual knows the what. He says, as you move towards the inner part of that circle, you get to the how. And he says, some know really how to do it. Okay, so you become a little bit more of an expert in the how. Okay, here's how to become really good at what you're doing. But he says, very few really know the why. What's the purpose of the organization? Why should I wake up in the morning? If you go into, I've gone business to business. I've literally knocked on thousands of business doors. The mission statement's always up on the wall. I mean, most organizations are pretty good at like, here's our mission statement. But if you were to survey the employees in that company and ask them, hey, what exactly is the mission statement? I'm willing to bet most wouldn't know. Most don't know the purpose of that company. They don't even know the purpose of why they're there. Right? So if you can really get to the why piece, Simon Sinek says that's really where the magic is. That's where the juice is really happening, for individuals. And he says most organizations work from the outside in. Okay? They go from the clearest thing, the what, to the fuzziest thing, the why. Right? So again, managers will be, working on the what and then maybe the how, maybe the why. I think of a Peter Drucker quote. He says, managers do things right, leaders do the right things. So again, managers will make sure that things get done right. And again, they'll work from the outside in. But he says inspired leaders and inspired organizations, again, that's why that keyword, inspiration comes to mind. Inspired work or leaders will go from the inside out. They'll start with the why. Okay, here's why we're doing what we're doing. Here's the value you add to the organization, and here's the big picture. And then you get to the how, you get to the what. Okay, so love that stuff. And so just to give some examples, really in our business and just my personal journey, I remember when I first started off really in sales, right? I mean, we all start off in sales. I mean, the what is clear. Sell the product, okay? here's the product or service that I'm representing, and the job is to get out there and sell it. That's the what. And again, if you're not clear with the why, you can really lose some mojo pretty quick. Well, the how, here's the what to do. The how are the 5s and the 8s. Okay, here's the system on how to really become good at what you're doing. Okay, so, you want to hear the word yes often. Follow the 5s, follow the 8s, and understand and believe in the law of averages. Okay, so there's the how. But once I got clarity on the why, and here's how I got clarity on the why. What is the biggest and most valuable skill I could ever learn my entire life? And that was clear to me. It's people skills. No matter what I'm doing in life, I'm going to be interacting with people. So I can either accept that I suck at dealing with people. I suck at being able to influence people, and I just got to deal with that, deck of cards that I'm dealt. Or I can, grab the bull by the horns and say, no, listen, I want to be really good at dealing with people. And this sales experience that I'm going through is only going to sharpen those skills. So once I got really sold on that why, and I got sold based on customers telling me. I mean, I talked to very successful people that are, patting me on the back saying, well done, young man, keep it up, work on commissions, do sales. That's where I started. And, that was really powerful for me. The second example I want to give you in this golden circle is, as a rookie owner, running my first office. I mean, the what? Well, run a good business. I mean, run a profitable business. Revenues are like this, expenses are like this. I mean, that's the what. And ideally open more offices. Okay, so there's the what. Where's the motivation behind that? I don't know. The how, okay, let's get to the how here. Well, the how is I got to be great at recruiting. I got to be great at sales training, go into the field, train people myself, show them how to do it, right? So there's the what, there's the how, but then this was a key, moment for me, the why. Years ago, I started listening to and reading John Wooden books. I listened to John Wooden at a seminar, at a John Maxwell seminar. This is back when obviously John Wooden was alive. And I was just blown away. I was mesmerized by John Wooden. The Wizard of Westwood, UCLA men's basketball. And this guy did some unbelievable things. And in my opinion, probably one of the best coaches of all time. And so there was a little trigger that really went off in my brain. He was like, listen, 3% of my students are going to go on to be pro basketball players, right? I'm getting them as these young 17, 18-year-olds at UCLA, and around 3% are going to go pro. The other 97% are going to pursue careers that have nothing to do with basketball, but my goal is to really help these young boys turn into men. And so some of the testimonials of people that were coached by John Wooden, they would say, they learned more about marriage from John than they did about basketball. Now think about it. He's hired to teach kids basketball. He's hired to win championships at UCLA. But his students would say, yeah, I mean, of course we were learning basketball, but I learned so much about life from him. And so that was a big trigger for me. And when I say big trigger, just a big why. I just started looking at my business different. Like, wow, I have a chance to really positively influence people. I'm really a teacher, with every person coming in. And my goal, my job is to leave people better than when I met them. They're a little sharper, a little better than when I first met them. And boy, once I got that, because again, I was just focused on, running a good business and opening up new offices. So I didn't feel so good about the turnover or the people that weren't quite crossing the finish line into ownership. But again, once I really figured out my why, I'm really going to help, I'm going to leave people better than when I first met them. And I'm really empowered to be a great teacher, a great leader for other people. And again, I got clear with my why. Man, that's when my business really started to evolve. I was less concerned with, again, opening up offices, the what. I got more concerned with the why. And I think people saw the genuine concern I had to really leave people better and to help people level up. pass along these sales skills that I felt so strongly about. I'm like, man, I really learned how to talk and communicate with people, how to get my point across. And I really felt some passion around that. And again, I got clear with the why, that I'm just here to make a big impact on people. Some 3% are going to go the distance and become pros in our business, again, similar to John Wooden. And most, aren't, but I want to, help them, post our business, once they left our business, to do big things in other careers. And again, great things happen in my world. So clear on the why. So Gabe, really, we're called to help our people just really understand their why. I think great conversations happen with our people when, like, why are you doing what you're doing? What's your big picture? You shared with me your big picture. I mean, your family is, super important to you, and you want multiple streams of income, and you want to create wealth for your family. I mean, obviously you're a very caring young man that wants to take care of his family. And that'll be the same, motivation and inspiration for some. Others, it's going to be totally different. I don't really care what somebody's motivation is. If I have somebody come in and says, listen, I want to drive a Ferrari. I want to drive the nicest car. I'm really attracted to expensive and beautiful things. Great. You can run with that. I'm not saying that's wrong. Whatever your motivation is, whatever your why, big try. And I'll leave you with this Tony Robbins quote. I mean, I reference this quite a bit because, this is really powerful. And it really made me pause and think when I first saw this. So here's the Tony Robbins quote. He says, people are not lazy. It's like, what? Tony Robbins, people are not lazy. They simply have impotent goals. That is, goals that do not inspire them. Now, if anybody understands human behaviors and motivation, it's Tony Robbins. I mean, I know he's not a psychologist, but he might as well be. This guy understands people. He understands how our brains work. And so he's like, nobody's lazy. So if you ever kind of feel, Gabe, that, I've got people around me, they're just not working hard enough, they're just not giving it their best, well, that's your tell that they've got goals that are impotent. So again, you can help them, inspire them. And the inspiration really comes with the why. And when people understand the why, again, like I said, big why, big try, but when people are really clear on why they're coming to work, why they're getting out of bed, what their purpose is, how they're making an impact on other people. Again, even in the field, how you're, putting smiles on people's faces. Again, when you get into the real big why of what we're doing, the hows and the whats are going to come together clearly. So I hope that helps you, Gabe. I hope that's something great for this new year that we're into. I mean, really, let's just inspire people that are coming into our lives. Let's help really inspire them to level up and be the best versions of themselves. That's really what we're called to do as leaders. So that's what I have for you here, Gabe. I hope you enjoyed.